of our country. I was buying fuel on the road. I know what I'm talking about. Russia. Any Ukraine issue na da ho no. Me won say anthrophobia ye bibia fake. Say Putin akasa about Ghana. I want in and out of the Ghana. That's fake. Nipa we yes no. We nim guasefo. Why did you do that? I mean why? It's not true. Now let me tell you, Bibi Awunim. In the life of Putin as a president, he has mentioned the name of Ghana twice in his speech. On Ghana, I am telling you, now I have come to appreciate the fact that no, yeah, America can president, no. Me madam fo. Okache and say shithole, Africa is shithole. Me donya me. Sa kwane da ye president a. Third World War na start enra. God is a man of wisdom. After yen start, bring the slides. Yen ko. The Russian-Ukraine crisis. There's something you got to know. You don't know, so I'm going to tell you. One, before Russia, before Ukraine, there was a state called Kievan Rus. Even friend Kievan Rus. Even friend Kievan Ras. Whichever way. K-I-E-V-A-N, Kievan, and R-U-S. Now, going forward, what we no as soon as ye Kievan no ebe ye Ukraine and as soon as ye R-U-S no ye de S-I-A-N so ka ho ebe no so be ye Russia. Listen to the king of morning shows. Now, it was the home to the Slavic people. It's Ukraine, any Russia, Wondino, Vikovich, Dakovich, Achukovich, Denvich, Vich is San Omodeko. A hundred no win every war in the first of the 9th century, or Hina no holding phone in the Dahono. The king who was ruling the state called the Kievan Rus on the Dahono. You get it? Kiev, yes, I see, yeah, right, first Ukraine for capital, no. It was the capital of the state. And it has remained the capital of that particular land till today. And that was ruled by a grand prince called Volodymyr. The O after the L is silent. Volodymyr. You get it? Volodymyr. He ruled from 908 to 1015. Let's move on. Of morning shows. That time now, Menyashwa Ghana cry existed. As fate will have it, these are the names of these two presidents today. Now watch this. From the 1980 BC, Captain Smart. AD, after the death of Christ, to 1015 AD, President Abbas Sese Omokuntokoi, Bakudinde, Volodymyr Zelensky, Bakudinde, Vladimir Putin. Volodymyr and Vladimir, you get it? Research have shown that time now, Yetiti USSR room and as a walk they chose that Russia focus on and tem. It's pronouncing Volodymyr, Vladimir, because Bako ain't been both VO or both VO as VL. Bring it back. So this is the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, the longest serving president of the People's Republic of Russia. Akwawe oko school of Adadwa, Ebony teacher Pampem or the Hammer. I'll bring you the book to read. What you say, can't say. He is somebody whose IQ has gone beyond fear and panic. He doesn't fear anything under the sun. On Srohe. and fashion who adia or pepe Russia. And his wife will tell you he is married to his third wife now. He will tell you that what my husband think about even when he's eating is Russia.
You get it?
Eating oko na Russia fatuaba near the number. No ko na Russia fatuaba near the number. Na papa ne ko na Russia fatuaba no medina wa kwaba besin. Now 67% of his population say on ground in Ukraine. Favelensky bra. Akwa we no a comedian. Tesa akrobeto. Tesa Bobo Kala. And he became president. Tesa Funny Face. Tesa Lewin. Let me say something about their names. I want to give you the history behind. Now, Vladimir and Vladimir, Zelensky and Putin. Now, if you go deep into the history of the Kievan Rus, Oba no wa ahimfie ho. Oba na owa ahimfie ho a. Oye, yemfa se ohene yire menka ne sa na wate ase. Ono na sini ene Vladimir Putin. Oba no ye fanse ohene yire. Ba pania no owo sa ahimfie ho na. Eye Kievan Rus 1908 AD to 1015 AD no. Na sa oba pani no na sini. Na your friend Coptin. Coptin. Cuputin. Na sini and Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin our three names. There's a third name I'll come to tell you later. Now, ohine na owo kronimu no. That time from 908 AD to 1015 AD, na nipa owo ho a na osum ohene no pa yemfa se me hu the way am sinka no ohene somfo ahenkwa pani osum ne pa no so de Lensky so wo mienu ni nyina wo asefo mpanimfo esom Sa state I friend Kievan Rus. Yanko yanim. Now, these two countries, Ukraine and Russia, both derive their lineage from the Slavic state. I've told you already. One me enu ni na no. Sa state me enu. Eho. Eno bo na. Omo fi abusua bakum. Etisa abudu ene andani. One me and Tokwa no, da Budu and Andani in Russia and Ukraine. Ebusuya bakum. Eno mufre, yanko tem. Now, for the centuries that followed, Ukraine was under Russian rule. Edu baby no. Ukraine for titi mukra wie ya na say answer the USSR no kra ebe break in 1991 no. Na edu baby no wo me say ye beka ye ho abom ye nka ye ho mom ye beka ye ho abom ye nka ye ho yentiti emu no na Ukraine man ho so bia na ko Russia ho. So people estimated that to be a rule over Ukraine by Russia. Yanko yanim. Now, in the 1900s, Soviet Union nimuno na Russia. Na yafra Soviet Union. Now, Russia was the most powerful of the 15 Soviet Republic. One na Russia na hu na ne ho odempa even though na nuclear power no na wo Ukraine ho. Yanko yanim. Ukraine was second powerful of the 15 Soviet republics. Some countries do not come from Soviet Union. No, that Ukraine had the second most powerful. Russia was the most powerful, and then Ukraine became the second most powerful. Then during the Cold War, who arch rival arch rival na show kakrakari na enye na Ukraine ni America ya na wasore de neni na wonka. The biggest rival of Ukraine under the sun was America. And the biggest rival under the sun of America was Ukraine. These two countries during the Cold War. I'll come to tell you something. I want you to know this. Now, the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, which I've told you already. And Ukraine became independent. Soviet Union say Ukraine independent country. And as Ukraine inherited the nuclear weapon of the Soviet Union and handed over to Russia in 1994 in exchange of Russia guaranteed Ukraine security and respect Ukraine's sovereignty. 1994, Ukraine nankasa te hosa. Only Russia couldn't come, only Russia kokasa. Adai, oh, nuclear power weapons na ye woni ina Russia so muje. What they quiet day? Also, what they age na actually
you get it?
What they age na me Russia me respect the security of Ukraine and the sovereignty of Ukraine. And oje muma no. 1991 anybody in and then the original signatories of that agreement your friend the Budapest agreement was Belarus, UK, Pakistan and USA. Now watch this. Pakistan ofrihin bedruha. Pakistan is one of the enemies of America even from 1989 till today. So how come they came in and signed as witness to this particular agreement? Belarus president na COVID ba ya. Oka se wunya whiskey a uhitin kakra na wanom. COVID bi eni ho be yo. Ni krom ho COVID ne so antime nkomo bia. In 2013, VIKTOR YANUKOVYCH or rejected trade deal B, which could have created integration with EU. Instead, Thierry Okoji $15 billion US if Russia as a bailout. European Union first bra yan can see any Yabema say, Nia say, Yabema say, Nia say. School of thought be say the Russian president then at yen no dimrika kwasa mamon yesa yen yesi about respecting mo sovereignty. They are respecting mo security. I didn't tell Moko European Union. Moko European Union, pe me pia mo sa monko ka neto ho. Enti ma monko. Then am pe, so European Union say, won member ye 9.4 billion euros. Or say 9.4 billion euros. Fatu nchen baby. Member 15 billion euros. Je nafako. And oje here, and o de koye. And a man for na wo Ukraine say, hey, I told Ukraine I'm a Moscow. And a protest. Eshase konim
Oniamachio ye tie Captain Smart.
Na time no one president no VIKTOR YANUKOVYCH wa mo yire abrantie ya say si just Google oniama we anya na wa internet so ba ye research na ya na emu pi kikiri yebetu na America nam hana EU nam hana we nam hana gigiri akwano na ban no na ye topple aban no na odimiri kedwane ye okọ Russia tie ne ye tembia papa ne
you get it
man who say ye research wonu ye ha enye dia wo ye ho no ye research na mu pi president na me kana some Odimrika Russia sometime he went to live in the house of the in-law of Vladimir Putin. Koanim
you get it
Hey, now what
many in Russian speaking East wanted him to stay. When he was driven out, the minority felt disenfranchised. On the other side of the border, Russia was angry it has lost a puppet. Sa papa yotiwe, while rejecting European Union, Russia na kokutaw. Russia who said, Abranti ote wa ebetumi anu no akwa no wadwane. Se saa na tie de a ye Lucy Obia ye betumi ayusi no to take over Crimea. Koanim ko to curb this situation, Moscow annexed Crimea. I feel what you're saying. Hold on, Russia as a track. This part, Nipa was sa Bronu Wesuno, what doors on do. What can Russia casa? What did it to say Russia for? What you want to say Russia for? What could him to say Russia for? And in 1954, Nikita, akwabi the year Tonimo said, move your cross, Nakita, there be and then Nakibia we and Nikita. Khrushchev was the first secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union from 1953 to 1964. On a transfer Crimea from Russia to Ukraine. Russia for anti-CBC ne. This was to strengthen brotherly ties between the Ukrainians and the Russian people. Russia for anti-CBC. And you remember, in 2001 UN General Assembly, President Kufuor's first UN General Assembly, Russia complained. Russia complained. Now, when Ukraine became independent in 1981, Crimea joined it, and Crimea was given special autonomy. Na ya na kan krowa account my home to say Ashanti region Kagana ho yes Ashanti region because of Otumfonti who was special autonomy the opesa we bia no yeah who permit behave to say we Ukrainian yeah the opesa we now share map na e dey atoso no hwe bia Ukraine nie any blue and yellow no NATO OTAN for no woman a good Kiev, I will say the autonomy of the Donbas region, election and autonomy first, then everything else. Once in a while, Crimea annexed by Russia in 2014. Bisa President John Dramani Mahama, or UN General Assembly of Washington, over 2014. Ask him, he will tell you what happened there. A high diplomatic classified information. So me, I will not tell you, but I know. Fabra, map on the bra. And then we are young sports foreign train. 1 year. Never be a Russia, say. She will be a Ukraine, say. 1 year. So they have already decided that Crimea, the world community is aware. You cannot do that. You cannot.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
In 2014, Russian military began seizing government buildings in Crimea. Slowly, the entire peninsula was under military occupation. In March 16th, 2014, Crimeans voted to become part of Russia. Say, Crimea for no, when I was here, one more autonomy. And they could do anything at Wape. And our catcher say in 2014, 16th March, ask John Dramani Mahama, when they went for the UN General Assembly, something happened that all the West African country presidents were grouped. The North African country presidents were grouped. The East African presidents were grouped. And the Southern presidents were grouped. Ask John Dramani Mahama, what happened at the UN General Assembly?
If you don't get it, forget
I cannot say it here.
You get it?
And the Crimea for before the UN General Assembly, we want to become part of Russia. And then the international community accepted. Say you are part of Russia. Until Ukraine abay, say Crimea Peninsula on fanko, Ohia Kwai on fanko, Opekanea on fanko, Opesuku on fanko. What do you mean 15 billion? Russia na still ya or the Niamako. No, the command in Crawford. No, she want to say dear Ghana, Eddie, Tierney, Ghana, dear in Mahode, Emma Togo free, Togo for Drakaniaka, Yen Yahuka. Because World Bank this Sikama Ghana, say Yen hydro no, sa amount of money no, another part was given to Togo. So once one since you be, but Togo or Ghana Tiffy, say Ghana at the Hodin. Nese ensuo no soro no Togo for si dam na ye ensuo ni bi ye de yakoso mo. In the wisdom of Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he lobbied the then president of Togo and lobbied the president of France as of that time, and the World Bank agreed that monfa on sika ne ka mo de ho monfa nya dam no Ghana mu wi a mo ma Togo kanea se se am no ka say Togo ye ne mo kanea free me ye president in the metwam. Cause I check. The man Ghana for you took a name, Ghana for you, and Togo for to
You get it?
So, Crimeans voted, and the world sat quiet. I am not supporting an invasion. No, I don't. Take my words right. I do not support an invasion. I am not justifying anything. I have told you, Putin may be justified, but his approach may be wrong.
Captain Smart.
Call him. Putin the medical catcher. And now so for catcher him say me su to say Putin me means no. I dey friend fear no be nimu. I dey friend panic no be nimu. It's when I wake up in the morning, I don't think about anything. I think about Ghana. You can go to hell. Even if you want to serve me food or the best of wine, it can be Cabernet Sauvignon. I don't care. But I care about Ghana. I see.
Captain Smart.
For Putin, this was Crimea's liberation. That time he was the president. That time, Argentina, Russia, for them, Putin. They wanted Crimea back. Now, Mamin can't say where we are. The agenda of Putin is to reform USSR. Senator for anya careful. Now I'm the Romania, you're rough. I'm the Latvia, you're rough. There are 5 countries, sir. Woman that put in waiting list. So, and what's here? Papa, you're UK for Prime Minister, your friend saying. Say CID. Boris Johnson say Ukraine is not the only target of Russia. According to info. Listen, one more try. Me person yene put in Tinase. There should be talks to end this. Otherwise, there's a 3rd World War imminent. To the rest of the world, this was Crimea's annexation. Ya annexing, Castle annex, Jubilee House annex, Media General annex, and then the focus then shifted to Eastern Ukraine, which was part of Eastern Europe. In April 2014, Russian separatists began seizing territories in Eastern Ukraine, and when you're from the DONBAS, no, that is when the DONBAS war started. Makacho said, we're born show presenter into the financial and said you're reading on your research. Ukraine forces have not launched an all-out offense at first. But on the 17th of July 2014, you remember, after the UN General Assembly, when a Malaysian flight carrying 298 people was shot down by these rebels now, no more the eastern part of Ukraine. The Ukrainian forces decided to flush out the rebels. Ukrainians, woman to me and flash it out. Rebels, The separatists began losing grounds to Russia. It took only Russia, NATO, not and yet play Nipa 290 plus. Tem kumwonyina, NATO and Kahe, America and Kahe, Obi and Kahe. It took China to say that what happened was wrong. That is why today China is in support of Russia. People should get history right. Maakye University. So the Russian army stepped in The Russian military invaded Eastern Europe. You remember, this is not the first time. They had done that to the eastern part. Baby, wamo nuclear power. They invaded the area, fought alongside the rebels. What followed was a series of talks between Russia, Ukraine, and the West. That resulted in the Minsk Agreement. You find the Minsk Agreement in 2014. That moon fire. Yanko. Minsk Agreement, one was to cease fire. Number two, military withdrawal. Number three, election in rebel-held areas. Now, who call Ukraine? Say, Russia for your research. Putin was sorry I saw because we just soldier. And our black belt, or one of the world's top karates. Wouldn't Shannon and Kwame, you want to say, and I know Togo to say Rollins and not Togo and I will go to no. Bono. Hey, I can't say no, say, now watch this. Put in your research survey. Say, Konomenko, and I mean, Russia, you know. 67.9%, almost 68% of the total population of Russia say, CRIMEA. I've told you, I am not in support of invasion. No, I am not. Putin may be right, but his approach is wrong.
Captain Smart.
He is right, but his approach is wrong.
Of morning shows.
70% reject one people. There may be one people here. Russia funds 67.9% in Master Kokuna. But I didn't know Ukraine. Maybe the teach West African leaders stay away. Somebody's enemy cannot be your enemy. One of the dangerous things in governance is to see Asantua's enemy as your enemy. And see Solo's enemy as your enemy. And see Sofo and his your friends say friend as your friend. Look for your own enemies and keep your own friends. West African leaders stay away. Because France Namuna Otutunkrofo from French-speaking African countries, he's afraid. Now, a man for now, a war Russia, 68 to say Kokuno. What is 68 to 300 ma? I can't say. Yeah, what is the Kurafi ma? I can't 40. What is 83? 32 ma? I can't say 32. 32 no. And 20% say they are indifferent. Some meko, some munko, and fire.
Listen to the king of morning shows.
10 now I can say Jai. Now why na be Jai? Say I buy we see your person G levy. Ono onunu no ho ana osiri ose Ghana for Nigeria to me wa kana for atane slow usu ane wa aka omunu no mo ho ana mo sere. Wo mo kra no mo say. Now over Ukraine says 70% of them rejected one people, no? So they don't want Crimea to be part of them. If you don't want them to be part of them, give it back to us. We say no. 72% consider Russia a hostile state. 33.3% ready to take up arms against Russia. Now who crow nipa 100%, 33. Would have find 40% depend on so my ready say they will make it a conde and Russia. You know very well, sir, what could you 15 billion? What did nuclear power now come out Russia? Russia. And yet Ukraine now here.
You get it?
Ayalo. Until the NATO for say they will not send troops to Ukraine. Thierry, there's an international and trobish and finfin who da. Nanipana ya borono, won't fa Kodia in Quanicro, what's in the Kogu Romania. Now Romania, there is a fuck Ukraine.
You get it?
It's yes, I want to went to me and more home by Quasia be to me more home by 21.7% ready to stage civil resistance. Civil resistance in the other stage, EMFA. Because don't forget, say, around the globe, and Krofasha say, and we are against the war. We are against the war. We are against the war. 67% want to join EU. And then 59% want to join NATO. Now, NATO no issue no. Asamna ye kanina between Russia and Ukraine na NATO.
You get it?
NATO ni na simple. America and the European world no. Western Europe no hunu say yenya de Ukraine be kan NATO hu pe. Russia hunu say America will have access to their borders. It is time Russia echo Cuba. America stopped Russia. And now Kofa Kotikwan. No one by Ukraine abeka NATO. Now we wait me affect ho. Now we need European Union and NATO abesi military base. Me so me mpene. Asamna ekoso no emu odu chen de amaka kire wonnai. Now let me say this and allow the sports team. Me, I am not a prophet of doom.
Listen to the king.
And I don't fear that me catch us say ebedu kwesi ada na Russia njaye ya. Asem wo ho. Pacho man kan kire wo. Enra Russia njaye. Watch this. Ukrainian asrafo edu baby you said the fourth time we must stop a Russian army. Now, say resistance no increase our Ukraine. Russia would increase their strength. Huh? Now, say ya me no kasei. Last week Friday, na crude oil barrel na $100. Ekosoro. Say ya me no $110 per barrel. Because Russia is the second largest crude oil exporter in the whole world. And Russia say the whole of Eastern, Southern, and Western Europe now, moji oil fi mi hono, me mamo oil ne, me mamo oil china. Samo se mo sanction me. Mo baji oil a. Mo di begu, mo kasim, mo trainim, mo planesim, the akko. So what it means is that ebedu baby no, Germany, offer troops in kono, or the just 2 jet fighters. Germany were over 6,000 jet fighters. Over 6,000 jet fighters. Or the two. No, they are questioning Romania. Out of over 6,000 jet fighters, no, or the two say, no, they are questioning Romania. Ebi Asrafa won 15. Till Germany, baby, no, the 30. Because oil tunnel be down. Germany here oil. Then I'm a person African leaders say, you guys got to sit up. Nobody will come from anywhere to draw any control line for us. We are the principal architects of our own lives. If we are not able to save our own selves, nobody will save us. This is the time. The Russian-Ukrainian war should serve a big notice to us that Ghana you gold, diamond oil, bauxite timber, lithium, Nina and Yama Yawodina no, Yen Shasuye, the resource, your security agencies no. I don't pray Ghana will not go to war. No, that is not going to happen. There wouldn't be any coup d'etat in Ghana. I don't subscribe to coup d'etat. I don't subscribe to violence. I subscribe to talk with a tone of a violin. Now, if you don't get it, forget it means solve your problems.
You get it?
But say your resources, I want you to in situations like this, in times like this, there will be danger for us. The next 5 years, the center cannot hold in Ghana, it cannot hold in Ivory Coast, it cannot hold In Burkina Faso, Togo will be lost. Cameroon, danger. Every part of Africa, especially the west of Africa, there will be trouble. Because they say crude oil, don't forget that coming weekend, you better to petrol. You ready? Yeah, betum. Enti, Nelson Mandela said that keep your enemies and I'll keep my enemies. Africa, stay quiet. Brofuna your friend evasion, you
get it?
and Kokabi.
If you don't get it, forget.
Do you fear some? They are coming to there's serious evasion in Ghana. And it's a
You get it?
and also evasion.
If you don't get it, forget.
There's serious evasion in Ghana. And it's more than half of our population, they can't afford 5 Ghana cedis a day. Evasion. The serious evasion in this country that the youth don't have jobs. Evasion. The serious terrorism in Ghana. It is that a Maakye hospital. These are the things we are talking about. And until we begin to think right and know what is right and begin to do what is right, the word right will write us off. I'm Fausia. Let me introduce you to sports for you.